Welcome to the Deep Dive. We take a whole stack of sources, pull out the best bits, the real nuggets of insight, and basically give you a shortcut to being properly well-informed. And today, we're tackling something that, well, it often feels a bit like magic, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Something many of us wish we had a bit more of. Charisma.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, we've all been there. You walk into a room, maybe it's a party, maybe it's an important meeting at work, and you see that person.
Yeah.
You know the one. They just seem to effortlessly command attention. They connect with people, make everyone feel seen, heard, important.
Totally. They have that it's factor.
Exactly. And, you know, whether you admit it or not, there's probably a little part of you thinking, wow, I wish I had that superpower, that ability to connect more deeply, more authentically.
It's a really relatable feeling. And I think for so long, most of us have probably thought of charisma exactly like that, this innate thing. You're either born with it or you're not.
Right. Like you either won the charisma lottery or you didn't.
Exactly. But what if that whole idea, what if it just wasn't true? What if charisma wasn't some fixed trait, but something you could actually learn, something you could build systematically?
Okay, now that's interesting because you're saying contemporary research actually backs this up, that it's a skill.
Robustly. Yeah. The science now really supports this idea that charisma is absolutely a skill, not some, mystical gift you either have or you don't. And we're not talking about surface level tricks here or being manipulative.
Yeah.
No, we're talking about a set of behaviors, skills really that anyone can cultivate if they practice consistently.
And the great part, I guess, is it's not about pretending to be someone else.
Not at all. It's
Yeah.
actually about bringing out the most engaging, the most authentic, the most magnetic version of yourself.
Okay, I love that.
That's exactly why we're diving deep into this today. Our focus is really on understanding and, crucially, developing personal charisma.
And we're using some specific sources.
Yes, primarily we're drawing from Olivia Cabane's book, The Charisma Myth. It's really a groundbreaking work, the one that laid the foundation for seeing charisma as learnable.
I've heard of that one.
It's excellent.
Yeah.
But we're not stopping there. We're also going to bring in some cutting-edge research that's come out since 2012, things that show just how far our understanding has come, adding, new dimensions and maybe some surprising facts.
Right, so we get the classic framework plus the latest updates.
Precisely.
So our mission for you, the listener, in this deep dive is to give you that shortcut, to get you truly well-informed about charisma. We want to equip you with surprising insights, definitely practical strategies you can actually use.
Actionable stuff.
Exactly. Actionable stuff. And a clear path, really, to cultivating your own magnetic presence, especially in your personal relationships. This isn't just theory. We want to give you concrete steps you can apply, like today.
Sounds good. So if charisma is a skill set, what are the core components? What do we actually need to learn?
Yeah, what are we breaking down here? Because saying it's a skill is one thing, but knowing what skills.
Right, and that's a crucial distinction you made earlier. It's not about a sudden personality transplant. It's about consistent practice.
Like building a muscle, you said.
Exactly, like building a muscle. You don't go to the gym once and expect results.
Definitely not.
You go consistently, day after day, and over time that muscle gets stronger. Charisma, Cabane argues, works very much the same way. It's about embedding these behaviors until they become second nature.
Okay, so what are these core behaviors or components?
Well, Olivia Cabane distills charisma down into three core pillars, three fundamental building blocks. They are presence, power, and warmth.
Presence, power, and warmth. Okay.
And these aren't just abstract ideas. They're the things that, when they come together, when they're balanced, create that magnetic personal charisma we recognize.
Just the combination.
It's the combination, absolutely. When all three are harmoniously present in how you interact, you create this really powerful, positive impression.
Okay, let's unpack those, starting with the first one. Presence. What does that actually mean in this context?
Presence is really the foundation. It's the ability to make other people feel genuinely heard, seen, and like you're fully engaged with them.
Right, being in the moment.
Exactly. Mentally and physically in the moment. No distractions.
Yeah.
Think about it. You're talking to someone, maybe a friend, and they keep glancing at their phone, or you can just tell their mind is somewhere else entirely.
Oh yeah, that feels awful. It makes you feel unimportant.
Right. So charismatic presence is the polar opposite of that. It's giving someone your undivided attention, making them feel, even just for that moment you're interacting, like they are the most important person in the world to you.
Wow, that sounds simple, but maybe not easy.
It takes practice, for sure, but it's the absolute bedrock. Because think about it, if you're not truly present, if your mind's wandering, How can you genuinely connect? How can you show power or warmth effectively?
You can't, really.
Exactly. Presence lets you absorb not just words, but the emotions, the nonverbal cues. That full engagement is what makes people feel profoundly valued and respected. It creates that deep sense of connection.
Okay, so presence is fundamental. What about the second pillar? Power. That word can sound a bit intimidating.
It can, but we need to be really clear here. In the context of charisma, power isn't about dominance or aggression or controlling others. Not at all.
Okay, good. So what is it?
It's about projecting confident authenticity, self-assurance. It's reflected in how you carry yourself, how you speak, and critically, it comes from your inner state of self-belief.
Can you give an example?
Sure. Think of someone who stands tall, speaks clearly, looks you calmly in the eye. They might not be loud, but they exude this quiet confidence. It reassures others, makes them feel secure, makes them trust what that person is saying.
So it's an inner strength.
Exactly. A calm, steady inner strength. It comes from being comfortable in your own skin, feeling capable. It's not boastful, it's grounded.
Right. So it's more about self-possession,
Yeah.
feeling competent.
Precisely. Projecting that inner sense of capability, the feeling that you can handle things. And that, in turn, inspires confidence in the people around you.
Makes sense. When you project that kind of power, people see you as more credible, more capable. Your influence becomes more impactful.
And it has to be authentic. It can't be a superficial display. It needs to shine through from a genuine place, making others feel secure just being in your presence.
Okay, presence and power. Got it. What's the third pillar?
The third pillar is warmth, and this is crucial.
Warmth. Okay, like friendliness.
Yes, but deeper than just friendliness.
Yeah.
It's about conveying genuine goodwill, care, and compassion. And this is key, not just towards others, but also towards yourself.
Ah, self-compassion matters too.
Absolutely. Warmth is about making others feel valued, comfortable, safe in your presence. It's that feeling you get when you know someone genuinely likes you, they're on your side, they care about how you're doing.
How does that show up?
It could be a genuine smile that really reaches their eyes. You know the difference. Or a comforting tone of voice. An empathetic response that shows they actually get how you're feeling. It's that sense of kindness and positive intention.
So putting it all together, presence, power, warmth.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, these three components create this holistic impression. When someone feels truly heard because you're present, respected because you project that quiet, confident power,
Yeah.
and genuinely cared for because you exude warmth, that's where the magic happens. That's personal magnetism.
It's the synergy.
Exactly. It's the synergistic effect. Think about it. You can have power without warmth that's intimidating, maybe even scary.
Right. Your warmth without power.
And maybe you're seen as nice, but perhaps a bit weak or easily overlooked.
Okay.
But combined power and warmth, grounded in genuine presence, that creates a truly magnetic force. That's what draws people in.
Okay, that framework makes a lot of sense. Presence, power, warmth. So if we know what the pillars are, how do we actually build them? This brings us back to the muscle building idea, right?
Exactly. The daily practice of charisma. We keep saying it because it's true. Consistency is absolutely the key here. These aren't just techniques you pull out occasionally.
No quick fixes.
No. They're habits you need to integrate into your everyday life so they gradually become internalized, so they become part of who you are.
All right, so how do we structure this daily practice?
Well, we can break it down into roughly 3 phases of your day. You've got your morning mindset practice, then your daytime interaction habits, and finally, your evening reflection and calibration.
Okay, morning, daytime, evening. Makes sense.
Each part serves a specific purpose in building that consistent charisma muscle. It's a holistic approach to development.
Let's start with the morning mindset practice, laying the foundation for the day. What does that involve?
This is all about setting yourself up for success before you even really start interacting with people, setting the internal tone.
Priming yourself.
Exactly. One key practice Cabane recommends is metta meditation, which translates roughly as loving kindness meditation.
Okay, I've heard of loving kindness. How does it work here?
It's actually quite simple. You take just 5 minutes, find a quiet spot, focus on deep breathing for a bit. Then you visualize a being. That could be a real person, an imagined figure, even a pet someone or something that represents unconditional warmth and acceptance. So can you just bask in that feeling? Imagine that warmth flowing towards you. Then you extend it outwards, maybe starting with yourself, wishing yourself well, then extending it to loved ones, neutral people, even difficult people eventually.
5 minutes of that.
Just 5 minutes. And here's the fascinating insight. Doing this doesn't just make you feel nice. It's not just about cultivating inner peace, although it does that and reduces anxiety. It can actually alter your neurochemistry in subtle ways, making you project more warmth and approachability throughout the rest of your day.
Wow, so it's a proactive mental reset with real effects.
Yes. It's amazing how these internal shifts directly impact your external presence. When you start your day by cultivating that inner warmth and self-acceptance, that feeling naturally radiates outwards. You become more approachable, more genuinely caring. It primes your mind for positive interactions.
Meditation. What else for the morning?
Next up is visualization of success. This is a powerful tool specifically for boosting that internal power mindset, boosting confidence.
How does visualization help with power?
Well, here's a truly surprising fact. Your brain often can't tell the difference between a vividly imagined success and a real one.
Really?
Really. So the technique is simple. Close your eyes for a minute or two. Recall a time when you felt genuinely triumphant or proud. It could be anything: nailing a presentation, achieving a personal goal, solving a tough problem.
Right.
And then you engage all your senses. What did it look like, sound like, feel like? Relive that moment in vivid detail. By doing that, you're essentially rewiring your brain to feel confident right now based on that past success.
That's clever. So you're tapping into past confidence to fuel present confidence.
Exactly. You're immersing yourself in that feeling of capability, priming your brain to feel powerful and ready before you face the day's challenges. It leverages neuroplasticity, makes you feel more grounded.
Okay, meditation for warmth, visualization for power. Anything else in the morning routine?
One more quick one. The power pose.
Yes, the superhero stance.
Basically, yeah. It's simple but surprisingly effective. Just for 1 or 2 minutes, stand or sit upright. Shoulders back, chest open, take up a bit of space. Think expansive.
Like Wonder Woman or Superman.
Exactly. And studies have actually shown that adopting these expansive postures can lead to real physiological changes. Things like a temporary increase in testosterone linked to confidence and a decrease in cortisol, the stress hormone.
So it's not just psychological faking it.
It seems to have a genuine physical component too. So these 3 morning practices together, meta, visualization, power pose, they work to align your mind and your body with charismatic presence, power, and warmth before your day really begins.
Setting that strong internal compass for the day.
Precisely. It's a science-backed way to set your internal tone.
Okay, that's the morning foundation. Now, how do we carry this into the day? Let's talk daytime interaction habits.
Yeah.
Living charismatically, moment to moment.
Right. This is where the rubber meets the road. And the first, maybe the most crucial habit, is staying present.
We keep coming back to presence.
Because it's everything. Cabane offers a really practical, subtle technique here. If you're in a conversation and you feel your mind starting to drift, thinking about your grocery list or what you'll say next,
Happens all the time.
totally. Gently, discreetly, wiggle your toes inside your shoes, or just focus on the physical sensation of your breath for a second.
Wiggle your toes, seriously.
Seriously, it sounds silly, but that subtle physical sensation acts like an anchor. It instantly pulls your attention back to the physical reality of the here and now, back to the conversation.
Huh. I'll have to try that.
It works, and staying present means no multitasking. Phone away. No glancing around the room, just giving that person your full, undivided attention. That act alone makes people feel incredibly valued.
In this distracted world, that is a rare gift.
It really is. Offering it signals respect, signals they're a priority. It's a powerful display of warmth and presence, a true act of connection.
Okay, stay present, maybe wiggle toes. What else?
Next is charismatic body language. Your body speaks volumes, right? Often before you even open your mouth.
Definitely.
So aim for an open, relaxed posture. Uncross your arms. Keep your spine reasonably upright, but not stiff. And use what Cabane calls a soft, friendly gaze.
Soft gaze, not intense staring.
Exactly. Not a hard stare, which can feel aggressive or unnerving. It's a warm, welcoming look. It conveys openness and warmth, makes you seem approachable, comfortable to be around. Think about the difference you feel talking to someone who looks tense versus someone who looks genuinely relaxed and open.
Yeah, huge difference.
And it's fascinating how subtle but impactful these nonverbal cues are. Open posture signals you're receptive. Soft eyes indicate genuine warmth, attentiveness. You're nonverbally creating a safe space for that interaction.
Okay, body language. Next.
Active listening. This is paramount. We touched on it with presence, but it deserves its own focus. Make a conscious effort to let others speak without interrupting.
Harder than it sounds sometimes.
It is, especially if you're excited or have a point to make. But the goal is to truly absorb their words, Listen to understand, not just to formulate your reply while they're still talking. And a fantastic technique Cabane suggests here is the 2-second pause.
The 2-second pause. Tell me more.
After someone finishes speaking, before you jump in with your response, deliberately pause for about 2 seconds. Just a brief moment of silence. And maybe adopt a thoughtful facial expression while you do it.
2 whole seconds. Won't that feel awkward?
It might feel like an eternity the first few times you try it. But think about what it signals to the other person. It shows you're not just waiting for your turn to talk. You're actually processing what they said. You're considering it. It signals profound respect for their thoughts.
Okay, I can see that. It counters that feeling of being rushed.
Exactly. That pause, though small, communicates volumes. Consideration, genuine absorption. It makes the other person feel deeply heard and valued. It's a real hallmark of presence and respect, especially in today's fast-paced conversations.
All right, the 2-second pause.
Yeah.
I added to my list. What else for daytime habits?
Next, let's talk verbal charisma cues. Your voice itself is a powerful tool.
How so?
Try speaking a bit more slowly and deliberately than you might normally. Not painfully slow, but measured. This tends to make you sound more thoughtful, more self-assured.
Instead of rushing.
Exactly. Rushing can signal nervousness or lack of confidence. Also, pay attention to your intonation. Critically, try to end your sentences with a confident downward tone.
Not up-talking, where it sounds like a question.
Precisely. Uptalk can make you sound uncertain or hesitant, even if you're not. A measured pace and that confident downward inflection at the end of statements, it prompts others to pay attention. It sounds like you have something worthwhile to say, and you believe it.
So it projects vocal power and certainty.
Yes. It draws listeners in rather than pushing them away with perceived uncertainty. It significantly contributes to how your message is received, making you sound more authoritative and trustworthy.
Okay, slower pace, downward tone. Got it. Anything else for daytime?
One final habit for the day. Commit to one act of warmth in your personal interactions, every day.
An act of warmth. Like what?
It could be super simple. Giving a genuine, specific compliment to a friend. I really admire how patient you were in that situation, or expressing sincere appreciation to a family member. Thanks so much for doing X. It really helped me out.
So consciously looking for opportunities to be kind.
Exactly, and the benefit is twofold. Obviously, it makes the other person feel good, which strengthens your connection, but it also actively trains you to look for the positive qualities in others. It reinforces your own internal sense of warmth and kindness.
Like a self-reinforcing loop.
Precisely. This daily practice of intentional warmth is like a positive feedback loop. The more you express genuine appreciation, the more you cultivate a mindset that notices the good. It makes your warmth more authentic and effortless over time. These day-to-day habits steadily build your natural magnetism.
Okay, that's a solid set of daytime habits. Presence, body language, listening, voice, and warmth. Now, what about the end of the day?
Right, the evening reflection and calibration. This is about consolidating your progress. It's like that daily check-in, making sure you're consciously growing, not just letting it happen randomly.
It's like reviewing the day's workout for your charisma muscle.
Exactly. Take about 5 minutes. You can journal or just mentally review your interactions from the day. Ask yourself some key questions. Was I truly present in my conversations today? Did I manage to project confidence when I needed to? Was I kind and warm?
And this structured reflection, how does it help bridge the gap between knowing about charisma and actually being charismatic?
Yeah, that's a great question. It's all about deliberate practice and mindful adaptation. It forces you to move beyond just theory. You're not just thinking about what you did, but how it felt, what the impact was, and importantly, what small adjustment you could make tomorrow.
So identifying successes and areas for improvement.
Yes. Make a note, mental or written, of 1 or 2 moments you handled well. Maybe you nailed that 2-second pause and saw the other person relax. Or you felt genuinely present during a difficult chat. Acknowledge those wins.
Oh, okay.
But also, and this is absolutely crucial, note any situations where you felt your charisma slipped. Maybe you zoned out during a story or felt insecure and fidgeted. But, and Cabane really stresses this, do it without harsh self-criticism.
The self-compassion piece again.
Yes, everyone slips up. Building skills takes time. Setbacks are just learning opportunities. The goal isn't to beat yourself up, which is counterproductive. It's to identify areas for growth with a kind, compassionate perspective.
That's vital, separating the behavior from your self-worth.
Exactly. It creates a safe internal space for learning. It prevents you from getting discouraged and giving up. It builds resilience in this charisma building journey.
Okay. What if negative self-talk did creep in during the day? Any specific technique for handling that during reflection?
Yes. Cabane recommends a quick reframing process, especially helpful before bed if you're dwelling on an awkward moment. It's 3 steps. Destigmatize, neutralize, rewrite.
Destigmatize, neutralize, rewrite.
Okay. First, destigmatize. Remind yourself that feeling awkward or making a social misstep happens to everyone. You are not uniquely flawed. It's a normal part of human interaction.
Takes the pressure off.
Exactly. Second, neutralize. Consciously try to release the negative thought or feeling. You could visualize it floating away or just take a deep breath and mentally let it go. Don't fight it, just release it.
Okay.
And third, rewrite. If there is a harsh internal narrative, they must think I'm an idiot, consciously replace it with a kinder, more neutral, or more positive interpretation. For example, maybe they were just distracted, or it wasn't my best moment, but I'll try differently next time.
So you're actively restructuring those negative thoughts.
Precisely. It's cognitive restructuring. It shifts your internal monologue from self-defeating to supportive. And that directly impacts your internal state of power and warmth, making you less vulnerable to anxiety in future situations. You're taking control of your inner narrative.
Powerful stuff. And the last part of the evening routine.
To wrap up your day, plan for tomorrow. Set one small, specific charisma goal for the next day.
Small and specific.
Yes. Not be more charismatic. That's too vague. Make it concrete. Like, tomorrow at dinner, I will put my phone completely away and give my partner my full attention. Or I will initiate a brief chat with my coworker and practice asking one open-ended question.
Got it. Makes it manageable.
Exactly. By reflecting on the day and setting a small, specific intention for the next, you reinforce your learning and maintain momentum. It creates this continuous cycle of improvement, ensuring you're always moving forward, embedding these habits.
Okay, so this daily routine morning mindset, daytime habits, evening reflection creates a framework for consistent practice.
Yes. And over time, through this consistent, deliberate practice, these actions start to become less conscious effort and more just how you are. They become second nature.
Yeah.
You move towards unconscious competence.
Right. Now, that daily routine sounds great, but how do you structure the learning over a longer period? Build things up gradually.
Good question. That brings us to the progressive 6-week charisma roadmap. Think of it as a structured program.
A curriculum for charisma.
Kind of. It's a step-by-step approach where each week builds on the last, allowing you to focus on strengthening presence, then power, then warmth, and finally integrating them.
6 weeks. Is that set in stone?
It's a suggestion. Cabane notes you can be flexible, maybe take 7 or 8 weeks if you feel you need more time on a particular pillar. The key isn't speed. It's steady progress and genuine internalization.
Okay, so what does week 1 look like?
Week 1, mastering presence. The entire focus this week is on being fully present. All those daily practices we discussed, you really lean into the presence-building ones.
Like the meditation, removing distractions.
Exactly. Deeply integrate the morning mindset stuff. Throughout the day, be militant about removing distractions, phone silent and away during conversations, and practice that toe-wiggling trick whenever your mind wanders.
And the goal for week 1?
The specific goal is make consistent eye contact, the soft gaze kind, and really focus on listening more than you speak. Signal to the other person through your attention that they are your top priority in that moment. You want to aim for creating that feeling, even briefly, that they're the only person in the world for you.
And what outcome should you look for?
By the end of week 1, you should start noticing subtle shifts. People might respond more positively. Maybe they open up a bit more than usual. Someone might even comment, "Wow, I really enjoyed talking with you." Those are signs your presence is improving.
Because presence is the foundation.
It's absolutely foundational. When people feel truly seen and heard, it builds trust and rapport immediately. It's the gateway to everything else.
Okay, week 1 is all about presence. What's week 2?
Week 2, confidence and inner posture, developing power. Now, building on that foundation of presence, you start focusing on cultivating that inner confidence and calm, tackling the internal barriers like self-doubt or anxiety that can kill charisma.
So working on the power pillar.
Exactly. You continue the morning success visualization, really lean into feeling that competence, and you add another visualization technique from Cabane called the responsibility transfer.
The responsibility transfer. What's that?
If you're feeling anxious about, say, an upcoming social event, you visualize lifting that feeling of anxiety off your shoulders and mentally handing it over.
Handing it over.
To whom? Could be a trusted figure, a
Right.
mentor, a spiritual figure if that resonates, or even just visualizing placing it in a box and handing it to the universe or fate. The act of symbolically transferring that burden of worry frees you up mentally.
Huh. So you're externalizing the anxiety.
Precisely. It creates psychological distance, allows you to approach the situation with a calmer internal state, which then projects outward as that quiet confidence we talked about. You're managing your internal landscape to optimize your external projection.
Interesting. What else in week 2?
Complement that mental work with physical techniques. Do those power poses daily. Maybe add some expansive stretches reaching up, arms wide like a victory pose. This conditions your body to feel more powerful and, as we said, can actually lower stress hormones.
So mind and body working together.
Yes. And this week, pay extra attention to your everyday posture. Stand tall, sit upright, head held high, and practice speaking with that slightly slower, more confident cadence.
And managing negative thoughts.
Definitely. If those negative thoughts pop up, I'm boring, they don't like me, apply Cabane's advice, acknowledge the thought briefly, aha, there's that thought again, then consciously refocus. Either shift your attention back to the other person or focus on a positive aspect of the situation. Don't get sucked into the negativity spiral.
And the outcome for week 2.
By the end of this week, you should start feeling noticeably more at ease in social situations, more self-assured. It's an inner stability, that quiet confidence that others will begin to perceive subconsciously.
It's that link between the internal feeling and the external projection.
Exactly. And adopting those power postures isn't just faking it. You're actively influencing your brain chemistry to feel more powerful and less stressed. You're solidifying that inner posture.
Okay, week 1 presence, week 2 power. What's week 3?
Week 3, cultivating warmth and empathy. Now we focus on amplifying genuine goodwill towards others, making that warmth pillar shine.
How do we do that?
Continue the daily self-compassion practice, the meta-meditation. But now, consciously extend it outward more. Spend a few minutes visualizing sending goodwill not just to yourself, but specifically to friends, family members, even colleagues. Wish them happiness, success, well-being. Cabane notes these gratitude and compassion exercises directly increase the warmth you naturally project.
So strengthening the internal source of warmth.
Exactly, and then put it into action. Practice random acts of kindness this week. Small things. Help a family member with a chore without being asked. Bring a friend their favorite coffee just because. Offer a genuine compliment. These small gestures build real connection and exercise your warmth muscle.
It builds that internal reservoir of goodwill.
Perfectly put. When you genuinely look for opportunities to make others feel good, that benevolent intention radiates outwards. It's perceived as authentic warmth, creating that positive feedback loop for everyone involved.
What about nonverbals for warmth this week?
Yes, focus on smiling deliberately, but not a fake, plastered-on grin.
The genuine kind.
The genuine kind. Pause before you interact, maybe think of something you genuinely appreciate about the person, or recall a happy memory, and let that feeling generate a sincere smile that reaches your eyes. This is like Cabane's inner goodwill technique made visible.
Okay. And listening for warmth.
Refine your listening skills by focusing on responding with empathy first when someone shares something difficult or emotional. Before offering solutions, before sharing your own story, just validate their feeling. Wow, that sounds really tough. Or, I'm so sorry you're going through that. Showing that you understand and care demonstrates high warmth.
So what's the expected outcome by the end of week 3?
You should notice people seem more comfortable around you, more trusting. Maybe they share more personal things with you. You might literally see people visibly relax in your presence. That's a clear sign your warmth is coming through effectively.
That ripple effect of genuine warmth, making people feel safe and cared for.
Exactly. And that safety allows for deeper, more meaningful connections, richer relationships.
Okay, presence, power, warmth. We focused on each one. We're halfway through the roadmap. It really is amazing how structured this can be.
It is. And it shows how these seemingly intangible qualities can be systematically developed.
So what's week 4 charismatic communication? Is this where it all comes together?
Pretty much. This week is about consciously combining presence, power, and warmth in how you actually speak and interact. You keep practicing all the habits from the previous weeks. Hopefully they're feeling a bit more natural now.
Becoming ingrained.
Right? And you add a few more advanced communication skills. First, really focus on keeping the spotlight on others.
How do you do that effectively?
Make it a point to encourage people to talk about themselves, their interests, their passions, things that excite them. Ask good, open-ended questions, not just, how are you, but how have you been feeling about X lately? Or what do you enjoy most about Y?
People do love talking about themselves.
They do. And when you facilitate that, when you show genuine interest and let them share, they feel great and they associate that positive feeling with you. It makes you a fantastic conversationalist in their eyes, even if you didn't talk much about yourself.
That's a subtle but powerful shift. Demonstrating interest makes you more interesting.
Exactly. It shows value, presence, warmth. Makes you a memorable, positive person to talk to.
Okay, keep the spotlight on others. What else in week 4?
Engage with storytelling and emotion. Practice sharing at least one brief personal anecdote or story this week. Maybe something positive or funny to lift the mood.
My storytelling.
Because it builds connection on a more emotional level. When you share something personal with genuine enthusiasm or appropriate emotion, it allows others to connect with you beyond just the surface level. It builds a rapport.
And how should you tell the story?
Pay attention to your vocal delivery. Infuse confidence by using that slightly slower pace, those deliberate pauses. Infuse warmth by varying your tone, show enthusiasm, maybe a touch of vulnerability if appropriate. Use Cabane's tips, downward intonation at the end of sentences, don't rush to fill silences. Aim for a voice that's calm, warm, expressive, and engaging.
So it's not just what you say, but how you say it, with feeling.
Absolutely. That blend of verbal skill and emotional intelligence adds real depth to your communication. Makes your interactions much more memorable.
Okay. Anything else for week 4 communication?
Nonverbal synchronization. Keep being mindful of your body language, open posture, soft gaze. But this week, maybe try some subtle mirroring, especially with people you feel close to.
Mirroring, like copying them.
Gently, subtly, yes. If they lean in slightly while sharing something interesting, you might naturally lean in a bit too. If they smile, you return the smile. It's about subtly reflecting their positive expressions and posture. It builds subconscious rapport, a sense of being in sync.
Okay, subtle mirroring. And other nonverbals.
Continue to use nodding to show understanding, but keep it calm and thoughtful. Not rapid-fire nodding, which can signal impatience. And really focus on letting your facial expressions react naturally before you speak. If they share good news, let your face light up, then offer congratulations. If they share bad news, show concern on your face, then offer sympathy. It makes them feel truly heard and understood on an emotional level.
So the face reacts first.
It adds authenticity. By the end of week 4, your conversation should start feeling more dynamic, more positive, more connected. Notice if friends or family seem more engaged if you're hearing, "I really enjoyed our chat," more often. These are signs that presence, power, and warmth are starting to harmonize beautifully in your communication style.
Creating that natural flow and connection.
Yes, that subconscious trust and empathy that makes interactions feel really good.
All right, we're nearing the end of the roadmap. What's week 5 about?
Week 5, expanding your comfort zone. Charisma isn't just for familiar situations. It grows when you practice it, especially in low-stakes environments where you can experiment a bit without high pressure.
So, taking the training wheels off a bit.
Kind of. This week is about gently pushing yourself just beyond your usual social comfort zone, solidifying the habits in slightly new or more challenging contexts.
Like what kinds of situations?
Depends on your starting point. If you're normally quiet in group settings with friends, maybe make an effort to share an opinion or tell a short story. If you tend to stick to people you know at gatherings, maybe introduce yourself to one new person, like a friend of a friend, or strike up a brief chat with a neighbor you don't know well.
So, small, manageable steps outside the usual routine.
Exactly. It's about generalization and building resilience. Applying the skills you've learned in these slightly novel contexts helps solidify them. It builds confidence that you can be charismatic across different situations. It's where theory really meets varied, real-world application.
And you apply all the techniques.
Yes, when you step into that slightly unfamiliar situation, consciously apply what you've practiced. Initiate with a warm greeting, maybe a confident handshake if appropriate. Maintain presence and eye contact. Use that listening spotlight to get the other person talking.
And maybe that warm-up beforehand.
Absolutely. Before a social event where you plan to stretch your comfort zone, take 5 minutes for that charismatic warm-up. Do your power pose, visualize a past success, consciously evoke a feeling of gratitude or warmth. It sets your internal state to positive and confident before you even walk in the door.
And the goal of week 5?
To gain feedback from these new interactions, build adaptability. You'll often find that strangers or new acquaintances respond just as positively, maybe even more so, to genuine presence, warmth, and confident listening. This boosts your overall social confidence. By the end of week 5, interacting charismatically should start feeling less like a conscious checklist and more like second nature, even in varied settings.
Okay, that makes sense. But it raises a question. How do we balance trying to improve with just being ourselves? Is there a risk of feeling fake?
That's a really important question, and Cabane addresses it. The goal isn't to create a mask. It's about finding your unique, charismatic flavor. These techniques should enhance, not hide, your true personality. It's about becoming the most effective, engaging version of you.
Finding your authentic, charismatic style.
Exactly. Which leads us nicely into the final week.
Week 6, reflection, feedback, and next steps. Wrapping it all up.
Yes. In this final week of the initial program, you consolidate everything. Keep up with all the daily exercises, meditation, visualization, reflection. They should be habits by now. But really take time to observe how far you've come since week 1.
How do you do that effectively?
One key way is to actively seek feedback, but from trusted sources.
Not just anyone.
Right. Maybe ask a close friend, your partner, a supportive family member, someone who knows you well and you trust to be honest but kind. Ask them specifically. Hey, I've been working on how I communicate and connect over the past month or so. Have you noticed any changes, positive or negative?
That takes courage.
It does, but their perspective can be invaluable. They might validate improvements you haven't fully seen in yourself. Maybe they'll say you seem more attentive or more relaxed or more willing to share. Their observations provide concrete evidence of your progress and can highlight areas you might still want to fine-tune.
Because charisma is ultimately perceived by others.
Exactly. Their feedback helps you calibrate your self-perception.
What about self-assessment in week 6?
Definitely do a thorough self-assessment too. Go back to your journal notes from week 1, if you kept them. Compare them to how you feel and interact now. Maybe early on you wrote about feeling anxious before social events, and now you feel more ease, maybe even look forward to them. Notice those shifts.
And identifying that personal style you mentioned.
Yes. This week, really focus on identifying the charismatic style that feels most authentic to you. Charisma isn't one size fits all. Cabane talks about different types, like focus charisma, deep listening, presence, kindness charisma, warmth, caring, visionary charisma, authority charisma. Think about which elements of presence, power, and warmth resonate most strongly with your personality and the kinds of relationships you value most.
So leaning into your strengths while still balancing the 3 pillars.
Precisely. Maybe you realize your superpower is making people feel deeply heard, focus, or perhaps it's your natural warmth, kindness. Lean into that, make it your signature, while still ensuring you have a foundation in all 3 areas.
And finally,
Celebrate your progress. Seriously, acknowledge the effort you've put in and the improvements you've made. Maybe treat yourself. Or better yet, do something that would have felt daunting 6 weeks ago. Perhaps host a small get-together and enjoy being the warm, present, attentive host.
recognizing the transformation.
Yes. By now, you should genuinely find that others listen to you more attentively, respect your presence more, and simply enjoy your company more. Those are clear indicators of increased personal charisma. And remember, this 6-week roadmap is just the start. Charisma is a lifelong skill. The key is to continue the practices, maybe focusing on different nuances over time.
It's a continuous journey of growth and authentic self-expression, embodying your best self.
Exactly.
It's honestly so empowering to think that something like charisma, which can feel so vague and out of reach, can actually be understood, practiced, measured, and improved upon like this.
It really is.
So let's talk about keeping it going. How do we apply these techniques consistently in everyday life, beyond the initial program, and how do we keep measuring our growth?
Right, because the goal is lasting change. And this highlights a crucial point we touched on. Charisma isn't just about the outward show. Practicing these things fundamentally shifts your internal state, how you feel, how you perceive yourself in your interactions. That leads to more fulfilling connections long term.
So what are the key ongoing habits to maintain?
First and foremost, give undivided attention. Keep practicing that presence. Whenever you're interacting with someone important to you, or really anyone you want to connect with, make them feel like the priority.
Put the phone down.
Put the phone down. Resist distractions. Practice those presence techniques. Maintain that soft eye contact. Listen fully without planning your rebuttal. Maybe give your toes a wiggle if you drift. Remember Cabane's point. Charisma is about how fully present you are, not necessarily how much time you spend. Even brief interactions can be highly charismatic if you're fully there.
Quality over quantity. Those brief moments of full presence add up.
They absolutely do. They strengthen relationships incrementally, building genuine rapport over time.
Okay, presence first. What's next for ongoing habits?
Project positive body language. Keep being mindful of your nonverbals. In everyday situations, default to that open, upright posture. Avoid fidgeting or closed-off poses like chronically crossed arms. Practice relaxed, warm facial expressions.
That soft smile when greeting people.
Exactly. It's a great habit. A gentle upturn of the lips, warm eye contact, it immediately signals friendliness and openness. And if it feels right, continue subtle mirroring of positive body language to build comfort. Crucially, remember the internal-external loop. If your internal state is positive and confident, your body language will tend to follow naturally.
So do that quick internal check before interacting.
Yes, take a second. Release any physical tension. Maybe recall something you feel grateful for to boost warmth. This ensures your body language is an authentic projection of a positive inner state, not just a forced pose. It's about congruence.
Okay, body language.
Yep.
What else?
Engage with empathy and curiosity. Especially in your personal relationships, make people feel heard and valued. Keep practicing active empathy. When someone shares something tough, lead with understanding. I'm sorry to hear that. That sounds really difficult. Show sincere concern. It demonstrates high warmth.
And curiosity.
Cultivate genuine curiosity about people's lives. Ask those follow-up questions that show you're truly interested. What was that like for you? Tell me more about. Avoid jumping in with advice unless they ask. Often, just listening and validating is far more charismatic because it keeps the focus squarely on them.
And keeping the spotlight on their positive experiences, too.
Yes, that's a great one from Cabane for casual chats. Encourage people to talk about what excited them, what made them happy. They'll leave the conversation feeling good, and they'll associate that good feeling with you, strengthening your bond. It makes the interaction about them.
Okay, empathy and curiosity. Next.
Speak with intent and warmth. Keep practicing mindful speech. Aim for that clear, calm, relaxed tone. Use a slightly lower pitch or volume for important points to convey a calm confidence. Embrace brief pauses. Don't feel the need to fill every silence. Speaking a bit more slowly often sounds more thoughtful.
And infusing warmth.
Yes, through your tone. Smile when appropriate while speaking. Let your voice convey enthusiasm or kindness. Work on reducing filler words like calm, deliberate speech with a friendly tone is incredibly charismatic.
That exercise of reading aloud could help maintain this.
Definitely. Reading a paragraph aloud daily, focusing on pace, tone, and feeling can really translate into more charismatic, spontaneous speech over time. Oh, and one more thing on speaking. Practice graciously accepting compliments.
Instead of deflecting.
Right. Don't brush it off with, oh, this old thing, or it was nothing. That can actually make the giver feel awkward. Pause, smile warmly, make eye contact, absorb the compliment, and simply say, thank you, or that's kind of you to say. That confidence and warmth in receiving positivity is also charismatic.
Okay, good tip. And the final ongoing habit.
Manage conflict with warmth plus strength. Life isn't always smooth sailing, especially in close relationships. How you handle disagreements or difficult conversations is a huge test of charisma.
So don't avoid conflict, but handle it charismatically.
Exactly. If you need to give feedback or discuss a problem, balance honesty with kindness and empathy, as Cabane advises. Express your feelings calmly. I felt X when Y happened, without attacking. Show you understand their perspective too. I can see why you might have felt Z. Keep your body language open, your tone caring.
And if someone is upset with you,
Listen fully. Without getting defensive, easier said than done, I know. Then respond with accountability and warmth. Okay, I hear you. I see why you're hurt, and I'm truly sorry. I value our relationship and I'll work on that. Handling tough moments with grace, presence, warmth, and strength actually enhances your charisma, especially under pressure. People trust and respect you more when they see you navigate conflict constructively.
wow, so even conflict can be an opportunity to demonstrate charisma.
Absolutely. It can turn a potentially damaging situation into a moment that actually strengthens the relationship, built on trust and respect.
Okay, those ongoing habits make sense. But how do we keep track? How do we measure and self-assess this ongoing growth? Charisma still feels a bit fuzzy to measure.
It can feel fuzzy, but we can make it more concrete. It's about combining diligent self-observation with seeking out valuable external validation.
So how do we self-observe effectively?
The personal journal and self-rating method we used in the roadmap can be continued maybe less frequently, like weekly. Just take a few minutes to rate yourself on presence, power, and warmth, 1 to 5 scale, in your key interactions that week. Add a couple of qualitative notes. Felt really present during my chat with Sarah, or struggled to stay calm when discussing project delays, need to work on power under pressure.
Looking for trends over time.
Exactly. Are the numbers generally trending up? Are the notes becoming more positive? You can spot patterns. Wow, my presence rating is consistently high now, but warmth sometimes dips when I'm stressed. That tells you where to focus your practice. Writing it down makes your growth more tangible and helps with that metacognition, thinking about your own behavior.
Okay, self-rating. What about external validation?
Feedback from trusted others. This remains crucial. Periodically check in with those trusted friends or family members, maybe every few months. Ask specific questions. How am I doing with really listening lately? Or have you noticed me seeming more confident in group settings? Their observations provide that reality check.
And look out for unprompted comments, too.
Definitely. Often, as your charisma grows organically, people will just say things like, "You're so easy to talk to," or "I always feel better after chatting with you," or "You handled that difficult meeting really well." Increased positive feedback, more social invitations, people seeking your advice more. These are strong behavioral indicators that your charisma is having a real impact.
So track those social outcomes as well.
Yes, behavioral indicators are great indirect measures. Are conversations generally flowing more easily? Are you initiating more positive interactions? Do people seem to take your suggestions more seriously? Are situations that used to cause anxiety feeling more manageable? That reduction in social anxiety and increase in social ease is a powerful personal metric of growth.
It shows the real-world impact.
Absolutely. It demonstrates how these soft skills translate into hard, measurable outcomes in your social influence and comfort level.
And finally, maybe occasional reflection.
Yes, a periodic before and after reflection. Every 6 months or so, consciously compare how you interact now versus how you remember interacting before you started focusing on charisma. Notice the habits that have become automatic. Maybe you naturally maintain better eye contact now, or you pause before speaking without thinking about it. Recall a recent positive interaction and analyze how your improved presence, power, or warmth contributed to its success. And check in with how you feel internally more confident, more connected, more at ease.
Because that internal state is key.
It really is. As Cabane emphasizes, the behaviors flow from the internal state. Feeling more present, powerful, and warm inside is a huge part of the success. This holistic view, tracking behaviors, internal states, and external feedback, really captures the transformative power of developing your charisma.
Okay, this is all incredibly practical and builds beautifully on Cabane's framework. But you mentioned newer research, post-2012 stuff that expands on this. Now, this is where it gets really interesting for me.
Yes. While the charisma myth provides an absolute solid foundation, the research definitely hasn't stood still. There have been some significant breakthroughs and evolving perspectives since then that add more layers, more nuance to our understanding.
How do they complement the presence, power, warmth model?
They tend to reinforce the core ideas, but also broaden the picture, looking more at social dynamics, the specifics of nonverbal communication, the role of identity, and even some ethical considerations. It adds richness.
Okay, let's dive into that. What's one key finding?
One fascinating area is the idea of charisma cascades through groups. A 2023 study found something really cool. Charisma isn't strictly individual. It can actually flow or cascade from leaders to followers within a group over time.
So charisma can be contagious.
In a way, yes. Imagine a team leader who consistently demonstrates high charisma presence, warmth, confidence. Over time, their team members can start to unconsciously absorb and mirror some of those behaviors, lifting the whole group's dynamic.
Wow, how does that work? Is everyone equally susceptible?
Interestingly, the study found a mechanism involving self-monitoring. People who are low self-monitors, meaning they tend to act more authentically based on their internal feelings, rather than constantly adjusting their behavior to fit in or impress.
The more what you see is what you get.
Exactly. Those individuals were found to absorb and mirror the leader's charismatic behaviors more effectively. High self-monitors, who are always trying to manage impressions, might come across as less genuine and are less likely to experience this cascade effect.
So authenticity helps charisma spread.
It seems so. The takeaway for you, the listener, is that your authentic presence doesn't just affect one-on-one interactions. It can create a shared positive connection that ripples outwards, potentially elevating the vibe and connection within your family, friend group, or team.
That's a powerful thought. My presence can influence the group energy.
It really underscores the social impact. It's not just about you being charismatic. It's about how your genuine presence can foster a collective uplift, especially among people who value and respond to that authenticity.
Okay, charisma contagion. What else is new?
There's been more focus on the power of gaze and nonverbal signals. We know nonverbals are important, but recent research digs deeper. For instance, studies published in places like Science Direct show that strong intentional eye contact from leaders is directly linked to how influential they're perceived to be and how much approval they get from followers.
So where you look and how you look really matters.
Critically, think of a speaker holding the gaze of different audience members. It conveys confidence, connection, trustworthiness. It commands attention.
And technology is playing a role here too.
Yes, interestingly, there's VR training, sometimes called a charismulator, being used to help people practice and hone specific charismatic nonverbals, body language, facial expressions, vocal modulation. And research shows this kind of targeted training can measurably boost how charismatic observers perceive them to be.
Wow, practicing charisma in VR.
It shows it's trainable down to specific microbehaviors. The takeaway is clear. Be purposeful with your gaze. Use engaged eye contact. Combine it with warm, open body language. Your nonverbals are constantly broadcasting signals, and aligning them with presence, power, and warmth amplifies your impact significantly, often subconsciously.
Your eyes and body are powerful tools. Okay, what's next?
Another important theme is context, identity, and shared experience. A recent report, I think it was in The Guardian, highlighted that charisma is fundamentally perceived. It's not just something you have, it's something others attribute to you.
And when is it strongest?
It's often strongest when a leader, or even just a person in a group, successfully creates a sense of shared identity. That feeling of, they're one of us.
Ah, connection through common ground.
Exactly. Think of a community leader who really gets the local issues and voices shared hopes. Their perceived charisma is amplified by their relatability, their past successes within that community context, and their ability to foster that sense of social belonging.
So how does this apply personally?
Practice what you might call vision-oriented warmth. In your conversations, don't just connect one-on-one. Try to articulate shared values, common hopes, or empathy for shared experiences. When you highlight that common ground, we both really care about X, or I know we're all hoping for Y, your warmth becomes more compelling, more inclusive, building that us feeling.
So charisma isn't just individual magnetism, but also about fostering community.
That seems to be a key insight. The most potent charisma often involves connecting on that deeper, communal, values-driven level. It creates belonging.
Very interesting. What else?
Related to that, a 2025 study looked at strategic vision and empathy in leadership. It pinpointed these two traits as vital for evoking charisma. Empathetic communication, really being sensitive to the needs and feelings of others, combined with a clear sense of direction or strategic vision.
So heart and head working together.
Exactly. And leadership programs are now being tailored to specifically strengthen both dimensions, recognizing that true influence needs both understanding and direction. The takeaway for personal development is to cultivate your emotional awareness. Notice the impact you're having. Recognize when your words or presence seem to shift someone's feelings or thoughts. It's about being attuned to your influence.
Leading with both connection and clarity.
Yes, creating that balanced and powerful form of influence, even in everyday personal interactions.
Okay, this is all fascinating. Is there anything else from recent research?
One more point, and it's an important, slightly cautionary one. A 2025 theoretical paper discussed cognitive bias in charisma perception.
Cognitive bias, how does that relate?
The paper warned that charisma can act as a heuristic, basically, a mental shortcut. When we perceive someone as highly charismatic, our brains might unconsciously use that as a signal to trust them, to follow them, sometimes without fully scrutinizing their ideas or motives.
So charisma can bypass critical thinking sometimes.
Potentially, yes. It can influence followers to go along with someone, possibly at the expense of their own better judgment. This means that while charisma is a fantastic tool for positive connection and influence, it also carries a significant ethical responsibility.
That's a crucial point.
Absolutely. The takeaway for you, the listener, is twofold. As you develop your own charisma, be mindful of its power and use it ethically. But also, when you encounter charisma in others, maintain your critical awareness. Appreciate their ability to connect, but don't let it automatically override your own judgment. Question assumptions. Ensure influence, yours or theirs, is grounded in integrity.
That definitely adds a layer of responsibility. If charisma can be so powerful, even leading to unconscious influence, how does that shape how we should develop and use it?
It's a profound question, isn't it? It compels us to think about the ethics of personal magnetism, to wield it thoughtfully, constructively, and with genuine care for the impact we have on others.
So, synthesizing all these recent trends, Charisma spreads, especially through authenticity.
Hmm?
Nonverbals like gaze are critical and trainable. Shared identity is huge. Empathy needs vision,
Yeah.
and we need to be aware of its potential to bias judgment.
Exactly. These findings beautifully enrich the presence, power, warmth framework. They show it's not just about individual skills, but about the dynamic interplay between the person and their social context. And there's this growing emphasis on authenticity and the ethical application of these powerful skills.
It's about using charisma for more meaningful impact.
Precisely.
Wow, what an incredible deep dive. We've covered so much ground today.
Yeah.
From fundamentally shifting how we see charisma not as magic, but as a learnable skill set,
Right, breaking it down into presence, power, and warmth.
to giving you that practical daily routine and the 6-week roadmap
Hmm.
to actually build those charisma muscles.
And exploring all those specific techniques for everyday interactions, plus how to track your own progress.
And then layering on these fascinating recent research findings, charisma cascades, the power of gaze, shared identity, the ethics, it really gives a complete picture.
A truly holistic understanding from the internal state to the social impact.
I think the core takeaway for me, and hopefully for you listening, is really about consistency and authenticity.
Spot on. The goal isn't to put on some kind of act. It's not about becoming a different person.
No.
It's about consistently practicing these behaviors until they become a natural expression of your best self. Fully attentive, confidently you, and genuinely caring.
And over time, these practices become instinctive. They become part of who you are, letting your own unique magnetism shine through.
And you'll see the results. Your friends, your family, they'll be more influenced by your ideas, perhaps, more comforted just by your presence, more drawn to engage with you. You'll start to genuinely radiate that magnetic personal charisma.
Not as a performance, but as authentic expression, leading to those richer, deeper connections we all want.
Exactly.
Olivia Fox Cabane emphasizes that it all starts from that internal state, feeling more present, powerful, and warm inside is success in itself. But considering that recent research we just talked about, the part about unconscious influence and potential bias, here's a final thought to mull over. How might actively understanding how charisma works, both in how you project it and how you perceive it in others, how might that deeper understanding empower you? Not just to connect more deeply, which is wonderful, but also to navigate this complex world of influence with greater critical awareness, and perhaps most importantly, with greater integrity.
That's a really powerful question to end on, something definitely worth reflecting on as you continue your own charisma journey.